I know 2022 was kind of a surprise for Warframe players, especially when Digital Extremes announced the 2021 stats survey, revealing what are the most popular weapons and Warframes in the game across all platforms. The player base goes bananas over the fact that Wukong was the most popular Warframe, and in the weapon department, specifically the primary guns, we got the Ignis Wraith. Almost everyone made it a meme that you go monkey and burn everything right now in the game, but, let me tell you this, being popular doesn't exactly mean that you are the most powerful at all. So are you telling me, squad leader, that Ignis Wraith sucks? I am not implying that as Ignis Wraith can be decent in normal to higher level missions when you mod it well, and we will discuss that later on in this video. What I'm trying to say is that Ignis Wraith becomes this popular because it's one of those decent weapons that almost everyone can acquire in the game. For those who haven't heard, only clans that have the blueprint from past Warframe events can hand this over to other players in the past. It's pretty rare if you look at it, but the Warframe community is one of the most helpful gaming communities in the game, and they even let new players have free Ignis Wraith. Those clan members that have the blueprint handed them over to newer players, and all they need is to ask for the blueprint on the chat. It was that simple, and still, it's the same way right now. However, as years passed, it seems that those original clans who have the Ignis Wraith blueprint have been not playing Warframe. They are still clans with the blueprint right now, but they are only a few. It should have been rare by now, but Digital Extremes decided to make it common. A fully built Ignis Wraith is now potentially sold by the Void Trader in the concourse section of the Tenno Relay for 250,550. Note that Burrow Kit Tier's stock changes with each appearance, and this weapon may not be available on a succeeding appearance. Also, I know it's not the best way to get it, but you should also know that the blueprint is now available from Vale Proxima Grineer controlled territory abandoned derelict caches in Empyrean missions. The best way to get it now, however, if getting it free from the chat failed, is by going to Ticker and Fortuna and purchasing it with 25 advanced debt bonds. But like I have said earlier, it's not just because Ignis Wraith is easy to acquire now, and it can be available for even new players. The weapon itself can be decent if modded well. It's a good starter weapon in normal start chart until you advance to Steel Path levels. Long story short, it's a decent weapon for progression, and it can be acquired easily. Now, let's take a look at how you can mod your Ignis Wraith. The weapon is decent when you mod it well. Ignis Wraith is one of those high fire rate weapons that also have a high status chance. That is why enemies melt easily using this weapon. The weapon also has a decent critical chance of knowing how fast its fire rate is as a real flamethrower would. For starters, all you need to think is giving the Ignis Wraith 2 dual status chance mods that form viral or even only heat for armored enemies, then toxin against corpus, and heat also for infested. Anyway, the normal star chart doesn't pose any real threat, and all you need to do is breeze through all missions. Just remember, just put the usual critical chance, critical damage, serration, fire rate, multi-shot, and 2 dual status chance mod that forms the combined elements that a faction is weak against. While on higher ranks, then you got to turn your attention to a galvanized setup. But wait, don't get too much galvanized on it, since not all are efficiently working with the Ignis Wraith. At Steel Path levels, you will most likely get the weapon arcanes already, and I suggest you to go with either Primary Merciless or Primary Deadhead. Primary Merciless is obvious, but for Primary Deadhead, it's really a good choice since the weapon allows you to land easy headshots with how wide the beam is and easy to hit the heads of the enemies. Also, with the weapon arcanes, you can opt out from using damage mods in your mod setup and can go with a faction mod for more damage, then some more elemental mods for even more total damage, with Primary Merciless giving you insane damage boost. Also, if you already have Primed Shred, then go with this for more fire rate and punch through. When you have this mod, then you can go with Critical Delay for higher critical chance, as the fire rate debuff will be negated by Primed Shred. Then add the 2 dual status chance mods, and then Vital Sense for more critical damage. Galvanized Chamber of course for those insane multi-shot. So how do multi-shot work on beam weapons? To be brief, multi-shot gives beam weapons a chance to double the damage on a given tick. Now this mod slot here is a personal preference. You can go with Hammer Shot if you want more critical damage and status chance, or you can go with Primed Cryo Rounds, or you can go with Galvanized Aptitude. But wait, here's the catch in using Galvanized Aptitude. There's an AoE at the end of a beam weapon's attack. Technically Ignis functions under the mechanic of a beam gun, however when you hit an object there is an additional explosion. That is why it is so easy to hit multiple enemies with Ignis. The beam of flames is not AoE, but when the beam strikes a wall or floor or another enemy, it creates an AoE explosion with punch through. Galvanized aptitude doesn't work on this premise, so you are not getting the full benefit of this mod when using the Ignis Wraith. So really, it's a personal choice if you still want galvanized aptitude on your Ignis Wraith. Right now, Ignis Wraith will remain the most popular weapon in the game since it's a decent weapon that is also easy to get. There are a couple of weeks left to get the blueprint of this weapon on ticker with the Star Days event, so I advise that you hurry and claim it while it's there. Thank you so much for watching. Squad Leader signing off.